Without freedom of choice, there is no creativity.
I'll go right.
My fellow lovers of the association, we are back, and basketball is back in the D. As in this segment right here, my man Cade Cunningham is coming through. Woo-wee! This is going to be nasty. I'm not going to lie, this is going to be nasty. But in this segment right here, we're going to go over quite a few things. You know, his warning to the rest of the league last year in the playoffs against the New York Knicks. And we're going to compare that to some of his highlights this season as Nike made him a signature athlete. Congratulations once again to Cade. But we're going to focus on in this segment his passing, especially in the post. Him posting up, kind of doing his thing, being a menace down there. Getting into the paint, his three-point shooting, how the Knicks actually strategized kind of against his three-point shooting last year to close out that series. And we're also going to get to hear from Cade Cunningham himself, as we're going to do a little flashback on when he first entered into the league, how he molded his game, some of his expectations, and him getting out of that NBA purgatory that most rookies fall into, which is getting used to losing. So we'll fast forward and hear also current day, no doubt about it. We're going to stay up to date on this. We're going to hear from Cade as he sat down with Kevin Durant and kind of went over his processes to help him get over that hump. So in last year's matchup against the Knicks, Cade showed a lot of promise. Look at him here go one-on-one with OG, take this tough shot. Cunningham was definitely sending a warning shot to the rest of the league. Just look at this footwork, the physicality, OG all over him. And none of this really should come by surprise because this season it's carried over. He not only looks faster, but he also looks stronger. There were a lot of lessons in that Knicks series for Cade. First of all, maintaining themselves on home court. They could not get one home court win, but they did play their ass off. It's just everything is in due time. They got to go through the learning curve. For Cade, in game one, he wasn't as aggressive. Also, the fourth quarter execution for him as well as his teammates, especially for Jalen Duren coming off that pick and roll. Making the quick reads, not losing the ball on the catch. And truly the way the Knicks closed that series out is by going under the screens and forcing Cade to take open three-point shots in that game 6. And that's the beautiful part about the hard times. Players really get to see where they need to focus on. See, if Cade adds a pull-up 3 to his game, he's going to be a problem because teams are going to load up the paint because of his size and just the way he gets anywhere he wants. But it's going to open things up for not only him, but also his teammates. That pull-up 3 coming out of the pick is a game changer, as we've seen it happen for Jalen Brunson in his first season with the Knicks. But right here, this series is about to come down to its winding moments. About 6 minutes left. It's a close game. And this is where you start to see the Knicks start going under the screens. OG right here. He's going to go completely under. Brunson hedges. You see how OG goes completely under? They wanted to stop Cade from attacking. And in their closeout game, the Knicks did this to them all day long. Check out OG right here. OG just don't mind leaving Cade open for the pull-up, but it's not going to happen. But look how OG completely just... he's trying to avoid the drive here. But it's understandable why teams don't really want Cade even touching the paint. Because right there, it's going to open up Pandora's box for him to get to a big bag of just so many tricks. First off, he has unbelievable footwork. Very similar to James Harden and Jalen Brunson. Plus, he has that 6'6" frame. Second of all, he knows how to use his size. Even though he's 6'6", man, in transition, he can create a lot of mismatches. Here's a perfect example here. Already posting up in transition. Once he touches that paint, he has not only the height, but also the vision. Once again, it's kind of perfect he plays for the Pistons because he's kind of old school right here, setting screens, and then he's also going to post up. Look at that size. With Cade, everything kind of comes together in one big gumbo because that creativity he has, along with that size, allows him to make certain passes. Like, that was out of nowhere. And it's really the passing of Cade that makes this Detroit Pistons team dangerous because just imagine when they could actually utilize him just getting to the paint so easily and actually having a bunch of shooters. That Malik Beasley situation with the gambling, it really hurt the Pistons. Just him coming off a career year and them not having him carry over for the next season. But just look at the options that he had all series. He had, shooter. Hardaway Jr. wasn't, he's hot and cold sometimes. Tobias Harris is not really known for three-point shooting, but just imagine when Cade gets actually better shooters around him. Mix that in with his half-court game and just the physicality and everything. Here's another example of him using that size mixed in with creativity just to be able to see Isaiah Stewart right here. In a way, check out Cade right here. Who does he remind you of? Posting up like this, using that size, that nice touch. I would say he kind of reminds you of Luka. And interesting enough, right before he took up on his NBA journey, he had to sit down with JJ Redick where he talked about his beginnings. What were his influences? Who did he mold his game after? Interesting enough, we're seeing it all play out right now. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
So I mentioned earlier, you gave an interview on YouTube, and they asked you who you model your game after. And I know you're from Dallas. I assume you grew up a Mavs fan, and you said Luka Doncic. You said my teammate Luka. Why Luka? Is it because he's with Dallas, or is it just because you see some similarities between you and him?
I said Luka a bunch early on, just because I feel like our body types probably resemble each other the most as far as like who I look like in the NBA and his role. He's a primary ball handler. He's the one kind of making the plays. So that's why I say Luka a bunch. It's weird now because me and Luka are so close in age, and I've never just been the type of guy to be like, yeah, that's the guy I'm like. You know what I'm saying? So now I feel like it's kind of got blown out of something that I've wanted it to be, because soon I'll be playing against Luka, and I ain't about to be letting him say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Trying to tell me that. So, but his game, he's shooting a deep three, and I feel like, there's a lot of things we do that are pretty similar, and the way we just approach the game is pretty similar. So,
yeah, that deep three is really the difference between the two. But mainly with Cade, he has another strength that Luka doesn't have, and that's that speed and athleticism that we're seeing this season. He looks a lot stronger, a lot more sharper. The way he's going downhill, we're finally seeing that burst, because he kind of had that old man game for a little bit. But Cade coming into the league, of course, like any other rookie, they have high expectations of what their experience is going to be like. But unfortunately, guys that go that high up into the lottery tend to fall into what I like to call NBA purgatory. And good thing for Cade, he had a high mindset coming in. And even though the Pistons went on a 28-game losing streak, it's great to see that he actually came out of it. But check him out here real quick as he kind of expressed his expectations coming into the league. As after this, we're going to see him now as an evolved player, and to just go through those struggles and now speak to Kevin Durant, another idol of his, as almost a guy that's being looked at almost on the same level.
You told D Wade back in March, this was right around the tournament, I think, that you still feel like, even though, look, you were one of 4 freshmen to be Big 12 Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year. I think the other 3 were Durant, Marcus Smart, and Beasley.
Yeah.
And you told D Wade, you said you still feel like people don't know you. You're still being slept on a little bit.
And people were mad about that one too.
No, but I in a way I get what you're saying. So a year from now, like, what do you hope to have accomplished in the next year of your career, your rookie year in the NBA?
So mid-May next year.
You're probably, I'm going to be honest with you, the number 1 pick, you're probably not still playing. You're probably out.
Crazy. You crazy. You think I'm going for that? We in there playing for sure.
I don't know if you're making the second round of the playoffs, if you're going to the worst team in the NBA. I'm just going to be honest with you.
That's a bet. We're gonna come back to this.
All right.
You're coming back on the show this time. He's going to be in the playoffs.
Bring me back on and we'll talk about this. Bet. Yeah, that's one of the main things. I want to make the playoffs. I want to be in that race for sure.
And again, right here, we're seeing Cade, the way he had his expectations set and just going through that NBA rookie purgatory of just losing over and over 28 games in a row. God damn. And you in Detroit, the Motor City loves to win. They got a lot of pride down there, and it's a huge NBA market, a sleeping giant. A lot of those Midwest teams are low-key sleeping giants. Chi-Town is mixed in there too, so that region has been down for a little bit, and things are on the up and up. So now we go from seeing Cade and just being that green-eyed rookie to now being a Nike signature athlete. I mean, Cade is making a lot of moves on the court, and a lot of external eyes are paying attention. As right here, he sat down with Kevin Durant, and they spoke about coming off of just all that losing and now what has molded him into this winning player, the differences of habits, what worked, what didn't work, and most importantly, playing on a team with expectations. This happened to the 2018 Boston Celtics with Jaylen Brown and a young Jason Tatum. When they had expectations, they kind of fell short. It was much easier when they had Brendan Hayward and Kyrie Irving out, and no one really expected them to make the Eastern Conference Finals and take LeBron all the way to the very end. So Cade Cunningham this season is in a very similar position. That's one hell of a high, coming off a very great series against the New York Knicks. A legit defense too, with OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges dripped up all over Cade, and he was still doing his thing. So you guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
I know it was a rough first few years with losing streak, different coaches, different front office, but I feel like now y'all kind of solidified yourselves as like, all right, this is the team we want to build with. How quickly did you sense like the city started to rally around y'all team after such a bad start the year before?
It took some time through that year. Like, we started off slow.
Yeah.
I think we dropped maybe like the first 4 games last year. Everybody was like, here we go again, you know what I mean? You could hear that in the crowd, you could feel it. Mm-hmm. We went on a road trip.
Y'all beat us, I remember that.
Y'all.
Y'all started
that was one of the starts for us, like, all right, we beat LA that road trip.
I remember that trip.
And we came back, and there was energy in there, bro. And we never really turned back from there.
Was it more focused in film, more focused in practice, shoot-arounds? Did you see the intensity level go up with everybody?
We had a great group of vets come in, bro. So it was like, they knew what it took to win. You know what I'm saying? They had been around it. And
was it Tobias? Who came
Tobias, Tim Hardaway.
Yep.
Malik Beasley.
They all made big plays for y'all.
They all came in and made big plays. Like, they're on the court, but also in practice every day, their seriousness was different than what we had. You know what I'm saying? We'd always been so young. So the seriousness, like the attention to detail just rose for us, man. I feel like I've always just kind of been like a steady voice, for real. Like, when we was losing, I was trying, you know what I'm saying? But like, man, we just couldn't figure it out. And I wasn't ready yet to like lead, you know? The vets coming in, like them talking to me, like me picking their brains and stuff. I just felt more equipped, you know? And I built like camaraderie with them on the court as far as chemistry and stuff. And we just all kind of rose from that, but.
Now you notice the same difference in OKC once they got Hartenstein, and they also got Alex Caruso, who's coming off a championship with the Lakers in the bubble in 2020. That team had a whole different aura because they were battle-tested throughout the playoffs, going up against Jokic in a 7-game series, and also with the Indiana Pacers. Make no mistake about that.
As far as like talking and stuff, like I've always kind of just had that, like talking to guys, being communicative. I'm low man. I've just always just kind of been that way.
You handle the ball a lot. Do you feel as though sometimes you want to come off of it and play off the ball a little bit more?
Yeah, I've had games where we've done that. You know what I mean? And it's fun. It's a good balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's time where like I need to be bringing it up and like facilitating everything from up top. But there's been a lot of times where, depending on how they want to guard me and stuff like that, a lot of times people want to pick me up, turn me at once when I'm bringing it up.
A lot of NBA stars struggle with this, being off ball. Pay attention to that Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner situation. in Orlando. But Ja Morant is also struggling with that situation. And you see Jalen Brunson, he's the only one where that didn't really affect his game because he was playing out there with Luka. But in this, I would say, version 2.0 of this pace and space era, because the players coming in, they're a lot larger. Teams are playing a lot bigger than before. The small ball era is beginning to end. And a lot of these guys are coming with different type of skill sets. They play defense as well as operate off ball.
You know, all that stuff, it just is less energy to come down, come off screen, maybe get the ball in the spot, and now we can play. So it's a balance, bro. I'm still trying to figure it out for real. But
would you say Dennis Schroeder helped you with that last year?
He helped a ton, bro.
I like what he brought to your team last
year. Yeah, he just knows how to get guys in spots. We trying to get this play, you know what I mean? He's just so savvy, bro. And he got that dog to him
he
too.
He do. He'll pick up 94 feet. He don't care who it is. He'll talk shit to anybody. You don't like him as an opponent, but on your team, he look like a good teammate. So do you ever feel like you can be in the backcourt with another guard, starting, like with a point guard? Not like a Malik Beasley, Duncan Robinson, but another point guard, like somebody else that can handle the ball like you.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I think it just has to be like me and Ivy, bro. We haven't got a lot of time together. You know what I'm saying? But I think our approaches are like, I don't know but it's like opposites attract kind of. You know? Like we have two different ways of going about it.
I get what you mean.
But I've always felt like we could figure it out and be special. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure if the Pistons organization agrees with that, but they didn't give him an extension. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Ivy situation plays out if they're able to flip him for, I would say, more of a shooter. And once Cade gets like a bunch of shooters around him, that Pistons team is going to be deadly.
Always been
he's been
on
hurt.
and off the court. Yeah, we haven't been able to meet each other on the court for long enough to really get that going. But I think he's somebody that's like, he has that. He could pick up full, turn you, He could be on the ball while I'm coming off the screens.
He started shooting it better last year too before he got hurt.
He started shooting the skin off the ball. So like now I'm coming off. He's a knockdown shooter for me. We know he can get in a paint at will. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like I can. I think he's a great example of that. We just haven't been able to get it going, but for sure, bro. I think I could definitely play with a guard.
Yeah, I feel like you're a combo. I actually feel like you can go from 1 to 4, actually. I mean, you're always going to bring the ball up, but you can guard some bigger players and shoot the ball, catch and shoot, too.
Yeah, Cade has a sort of Charles Barkley vibe to his game. Like, he plays a lot bigger than 6'6". I can't explain it, but we've seen it through the highlights with the post up, the way, you know, he's able to, in transition, just take advantage of certain matchups, and even throwing screens for certain guys to get switches.
But coming out of All-Star break, that was the first time you like, all right, coming out this break, we got to put our foot on the gas if we actually want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're riding that hunt.
You're riding that hunt. So you got to turn the page real quick.
Yeah.
That's another phase of the team having to turn the page so quick and try to understand that the late end of the season, and speak on that, like, playing for standings now. Because we don't. That's like, it's easy in the playoffs when you can focus in on the team and lock in on the team for a week. But each a different opponent every night when you're trying to get ready for the playoffs.
It's serious, bro.
How was that mindset going in right out the All-Star break?
I mean, firstly, it was a blessing to even be in that. You know what I'm saying? Versus the previous years. Come out of All-Star break
Season
and it's like,
over.
Season over with. You know, everybody taking off against you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like nobody gives a damn about our games. You know? So,
that's that fucking NBA rookie purgatory. Some guys never come out of that. There's a lot of skeletons left in that closet of just players who just, it's unfortunate, but they just never really came out of it. I hope in the future the NBA could do something about the lottery rules and not allow certain teams to be repeat offenders every single season in that lottery mix.
Just had us all fired up. Like we've had a bunch of guys be in the trenches, you know, like for years, not even thinking about playoff, not even smelling playoff basketball.
That's a sick feeling.
It's sick, bro. To be in the hunt, everybody was just like, nah, we gonna get in there for sure. So it was cool, bro. I think it helped us a lot as far as the professionalism part of it, of being a playoff team. Like, I think it was just great for all us young guys to experience that for the first time. And we got better, bro. Like, we should have won that Knicks series.
Man. What was the
Should have
game?
won that, but
What, game 2? Did y'all win game 2, right?
yeah.
Game 1 y'all supposed to win.
Game 1 we were supposed to win too.
Playing in the Garden, your first playoff game.
Unbelievable, bro.
Your first game though wasn't really what you wanted it to be.
Nah, it wasn't.
What was the stats that game? You know,
I might have
it was
like
bad.
23.
You shot bad. I mean,
I shot bad.
You shot.
You guys were in a position to win that game 1, but Cade had that turnover on that inbound, and throughout that whole series, they had a lot of stumbles in the closing moments of these games, and also they got to protect home court. They didn't win one home game.
Bad. It wasn't a bad. You didn't shoot towards the stands, but game 2, like what was your adjustment in between
game 1,
those games?
I'm gonna take what they give me. I'm not gonna force anything. I'm gonna, and I got too passive.
Yeah.
They showing me bodies and I'm just getting off of it, but I'm not really trying to figure out how am I gonna apply myself. You know what I mean?
So when they start showing bodies, doubling the pick and roll in the gaps, and you start passing, you look up, it's the third quarter, you ain't really got nothing going. You felt like you have no rhythm at all, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was getting shots, but like I wasn't in enough of an attack mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where like I'm going in here to score, y'all come help. Now I'm making plays. I was kind of like, I'm gonna come in here, y'all are gonna help, I'm gonna make plays.
Yeah.
It's just a difference,
That's a small nuance, man. It's like, and I find myself
I know you know
trying
about
to balance that so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want to think about it too much, but it's like, when you start seeing yourself not being aggressive,
right,
and start, letting the defense dictate now, that's when you start putting your foot on the gas. So,
and that's playing into their hands more
exactly.
than anything.
Exactly.
And that's one of the balances that, honestly, I feel like is one of the biggest things that, like, if I can master that, I think I could take my game to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? It's like something that I've always been trying to work on, and it's fun, bro. It's fun. Like, you know how fun this job is, bro.
It is, especially in the playoffs when you get to play the same team over again, and then you know why you lost. You understand watching film how you can get better. It's like a real journey through a playoff series. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, this is nothing like it, bro.
From game 1,
that was the best basketball ever of my life.
And so it's
You can hear Cade, man. He's so fucking excited because he got out of that NBA purgatory. Rookies, oh man, some rookies just get too caught up in that with just getting accustomed to all that losing. You could feel the relief from his shoulders to be out of that realm.
Like no going back for y'all.
Yeah.
So every game in the regular season is important. Every practice shoot around feels important. Has your routine kind of changed based off of like becoming more successful as a team and as a player? Like your day-to-day routine, practice, shoot arounds, game day?
I mean, bro, it's similar. I think I'm just more intentional about what it is I'm working on, shoot arounds, game days and stuff, like pregame routines and stuff. I'm just more intense. I remember I asked you about that stuff, like how robotic are you about it as far as like, are you trying to do the exact same thing, or do you mess around with it, And I remember you telling me like, nah, bro, you gotta be free with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that changed how I go about it, like just having intention on, I'm about to work on this, and I go out there and work on it, bro, until it feels good for real.
Hey, in this season, we're seeing with Cade, it's definitely looking like it's feeling good. New Nike signature athlete, doing his thing, looks a lot stronger, faster. Ooh, Pistons sitting at the top of the conference. They're up there, top 2. So, hey, basketball is back in the D. It sure is. We'll see how it plays out. Until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.